May 633, Walaja, a valley in Sassanid province of Iraq. The Muslim army under the command of Khalid ibn al-Waleed radiyallahu ta'ala anhu and the Sassanid army under the command of Sassanid general Andar Jaghar prepared to fight each other off. From the Sassanid line, a warrior came forward to challenge the Muslim. He was huge and strong. He was the most famous warrior in all of the Sassanid Empire. It was said that he could defeat 1,000 men single-handedly. Khalid radiyallahu ta'ala anhu accepted the challenge from the Muslim side. The combat began between the Sassanid legend and the sword of Allah. After the Muslims defeated both the army of Hormuz and Qarin, the Sassanids understood that this was no ordinary enemy that they were facing. So they started to gather even larger forces to confront the Muslims. In the meantime, the Muslims had a short period of peace. By that time, they had a large chunk of land that previously belonged to the Sassanids. They focused on the administration of that region. Sassanid cities such as Uballa, Kazima, Hufeir all came under Muslim control without much resistance. The local people did not revolt, as in the Islamic Caliphate they had to pay less taxes. And the more they came in contact with the Muslims, the more they accepted Islam. In this manner, it was not difficult for the Islamic Caliphate to retain the lands that it had conquered during that period. But Khalid radiyallahu ta'ala anhu knew that the vast Sassanid Empire would not give up on its pursuit to drive the Muslims away and regain its lost territories. He knew that sooner or later many more armies would come to his direction. So he sent Muslim spies to different locations in the region to keep an eye on the enemy. And as predicted, the spies soon brought the news of approaching Sassanid armies. There were actually two enemies marching towards the Muslims. One was under the command of a Sassanid general named Andar Jaghar, and the other was under the command of a general named Bahman. Their plan was to combine these two armies into a massive force and crash the Muslims. The Sassanid understood that the main target of the Muslims was Hira, the main city of the Sassanid province of Iraq. So the Sassanid armies were marching towards Hira to prevent the Muslims from reaching the city. Andar Jaghar's army was closer to Hira, and they camped at a place named Walaja by the foot of a hill. The Muslims could not reach Hira without going through Walaja. Bahman's army was a bit further and was on their way to join the rest of the troops in Walaja. Once Khalid radiyallahu ta'ala anhu received the news, he instantly realized that if both the Sassanids' armies were combined, their strength would be too much to the Muslims to overcome. So he decided to not give the enemy an opportunity to combine their forces. He ordered his troops to quickly march towards Walaja before Bahman's army could reach there. The Muslim army advanced swiftly towards Walaja and reached there on time. Andar Jaghar saw around 11,000 Muslim troops arriving in the battlefield. He himself had around 25,000 soldiers. So he was pretty confident that he would win the battle even without Bahman's troops. Soon, the two armies took battle formation and the duel began. The fight was rough and fierce. No doubt, the Sassanid warrior was a great fighter, but he was no match to the speed and ferocity of the sword of Allah. The Sassanid warrior kept coming with his full strength to hit Khalid radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. But Khalid radiyallahu ta'ala anhu could deflect the attacks and landed a few hits with swift counterattacks. Gradually, the Sassanid warrior started to lose his strength. Then, with one mighty blow, Khalid radiallahu ta'ala anhu finished him off. The lifeless body of Sassanid warrior fell on the dust. The Sassanids were shocked seeing their greatest hero going down, and this seriously damaged their morale. Khalid radiallahu ta'ala anhu chose that opportunity to launch their general attack. Both the armies engaged with each other, but the numbers of the Sassanid soldiers were just too many. So after a while, they started taking the upper hand, and gradually the Muslims were pushed back. If the battle would continue this way, the Muslims would surely be defeated. Andar Jaghar was happy seeing the victory close at hand. But Khalid radiallahu ta'ala anhu still had his own trump card to play. At his order, the Muslims gave a smoke signal, and after a few seconds, the Sassanids saw a wave of Muslim cavalry coming down from the hill at the back of Sassanid camp and charging the battlefield with open swords. This created unimaginable terror in the mind of the Sassanid soldiers. Soon the whole Sassanid army was completely surrounded. Khalid radiallahu ta'ala anhu tipped the balance with one masterstroke. Actually, the Muslim army had 15,000 soldiers, but Khalid radiallahu ta'ala anhu wanted to surprise the enemy during the battle. So during the night, before reaching the battlefield, he ordered 4,000 Muslim cavalry to split into two groups and take position behind the enemy camp without letting the Sassanids know of their position. They were ordered to charge at full speed once the signal was given, and the rest of 11,000 soldiers arrived at the battlefield to give the enemy a wrong sense of the strength of the Muslim army. And this plan of Khalid radiallahu ta'ala anhu worked flawlessly. Once the Sassanid army got surrounded from all sides, they were so panicked that they almost could not put up any resistance anymore. In the previous two battles, a good portion of the Sassanid soldiers could escape the battlefield, but not this time. Almost the entire army of 25,000 Sassanid soldiers perished. Only a few thousands could escape in the end. The casualty on the Muslim side was less than 2,000. What a glorious day it had been for the Muslims. The Battle of Walaja is one of the best examples of military genius and leadership of Khalid ibn al-Waleed radiallahu ta'ala anhu. However, the mission was not complete yet. Bahman's army was still approaching the Muslims. But that is a story of another day.